Most beginners store AWS access keys inside GitHub Secrets, but real companies don't do this anymore. Today I'll show you how to securely connect GitHub Actions to AWS using OIDC. This is exactly like production DevOps teams do. So let's dive in. This GitHub workflow basically gonna make use of these actions, and then it's gonna use these credentials, secret key and access key, and then it's gonna run this command, and then it's gonna list out available buckets. So instead of storing these secrets, we're gonna make use of OIDC. So why we need OIDC? If you store these access keys, secret keys in GitHub secrets, basically it's a risky because they might leak, and these are basically long-lived credentials. So when you go to AWS, and then if you go to IAM, and then this is where you're gonna create once you click on any user. So this is where you go basically gonna create security credentials, secret key and access key. So these are basically long-lived. So until you delete them, they are active basically. And then if you want to rotate those keys, so you gotta come back to AWS, and then you need to deactivate them, then delete them, and then you need to create new keys. And then once you create them, you're gonna go to settings on the repository, and then you need to store them in secrets. So that's basically a headache, and these keys might leak. So instead of that, if you go with OIDC, so basically those are temporary credentials. So AWS is going to give temporary credentials for 1 hour. So let's see them in action. So what you need to do, let's go to AWS, and then click on here IAM. Inside the IAM, click on identity providers, and then click on add provider. So here you can choose OpenID Connect. So you can use OIDC stands for OpenID Connect. So you can use OpenID Connect with Kubernetes as well. So if your pod needs to access resource on AWS, so you can make use of it. That's fine. For this one, I'm gonna make use with only GitHub Actions. So what you can do actually, you can Google it with GitHub Actions or AWS OIDC. You can look for that, and then you can jump into this official documentation. So here we need to have this provider URL. So if you go to AWS, so this is what it's asking for, provider URL. So let's grab that. Let's put that here, and then audience. So it says that you need to you can use this one only with official action. So this is what we are using in GitHub Actions. If you go to this one, so this is basically official action. So for this one, you can make use of audience STS Amazon AWS.com. So let's put that, and then add it. So once you add this provider, so you're going to create a role, and then you're going to assign permissions, and then you're going to attach that role to this provider. So what you can do, you can click on roles, create a role. So here we basically use the AWS service for EC2, and if you want to do this on other accounts, assume role, you can make use of AWS account. For this one, you can use web identity. Choose that, and then here you can see that provider we just created now, and then choose STS Amazon AWS.com as a audience. And here, if you have if you're working in a company, if you have this if you have that GitHub Actions organization, you can make use of it. But in my case, I do have this username, so I'm gonna put that here. Just put your username, and then if you want to give to specific repository, you can use that. But if you don't specify anything, it's going to apply for all repositories as well as all branches. Let's click on next, and then here you can choose permissions you want to give this to role. So basically try to follow least privileges process, because if something needs, if this GitHub action need only read only permission for S3, just assign read only permission. So make sure to follow your organization's policies. So this is for just for demo. I'm gonna go with administrator access. Click on next, and then give it a role name. Let's say you can put any name. Let's say GitHub action. Just put something meaningful, and then click on create. So once you create that role, let's look for it and click on it. And if you check in trust relationships, so you can see that this role can be used from GitHub as from only from this user only. So even if someone gets this roles ARN, if they try to use it, they can't use it, because in this role I trusted only this username. So it will be accessible only from this GitHub user only. So let's grab this role ARN. Let's come back to it. So I'm just gonna get rid of these secrets. So what we can do actually here, you can say role to assume. role to hyphen assume and then give that role ARN. So if you don't want to expose this role ARN because it contains your AWS account ID, this is not an issue. But if you still think that, what you can do, you can create a secret by using this role, and then you can difference with the secret start that secret name. So you can do that way as well. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna straight away gonna use it. So I'm just gonna delete these. So how I know that role to assume? So if you go to documentation, and over here, if you scroll down, or you can search for role, so you can see role to assume. Even you can give a role session name as well if you want. So let's give that as well over here. So let's say it's a role session name basically. So let's say YDC demo. Now let's add it. I'm just gonna initiate it and then add it and then commit it. Let's say -m initial commit. So I already created this repository over here, but I didn't connect to that. So just let's grab this one and then put that here and let's push it. Git push origin and main. So basically this one is going to list using that YDC provider. It's gonna connect to that AWS, and then it's gonna run these commands. So I already pushed it. So if I refresh it, now we got this. Now let's go to actions, click on this one and then run this workflow. Okay, now meanwhile what we can do, so basically what's happening, earlier we used a secret key and access key in we stored in secrets, but now we got GitHub, and then we got basically once you run this workflow, YDC is going to GitHub is going to create a token, and then it's going to give it to AWS, and then AWS gives a temporary credentials. So if, in simple words, GitHub generates an identity token in JWT, that's a JSON web token, and it's going to give it to AWS. AWS verifies it whether it's from same GitHub user, and it's going to just check that, and then once it verifies, it's going to give temporary credentials, and then GitHub is going to use them. So basically large companies, they want to reduce the risk of leaked credentials. So that's where they're going to make use of YDC. So basically this is going to be standard in modern DevOps. So in simple words, DevOps today is not just automation, it's about secure automation. That's what we need to use. So we can heard the term DevSecOps. So let's go back and refresh it. It was successful if you click on here. So you can see list of buckets. So if I want to revoke, if you go to AWS, even you can see when this role was used last time. So if we refresh it here, lost access to, let's refresh it, and then you can see sessions as well. You can revoke the session as well. So if you click on lost access, okay, it's taking time. Even you can change permissions as well. If I remove these permissions just to prove that it's going to use this role, if I rerun this workflow, go to actions, click on this and then run workflow. So this is basically just a demo pipeline, demo workflow. So maybe you can use it for other workflows as well, but instead of these secrets, you can make use of this role. If you come back now, you can see access denied probably. Yeah, that's what you see because I just removed that access. So that's how we can make use of this YDC. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching.